Some shows felt like they came and went in a flash, like a few seasons, a few laughs, but then gone. But what if we told you that some of those so-called short-lived tween shows actually lasted way longer than you remember? Disney Channel and Nick were known for burning bright and fast, strict episode limits, early finales, and stars aging out of their roles, but a handful of these shows quietly broke the mold, whether you remember it, I remember it, or we even liked the show. They racked up episode counts that defied expectations and rewrote the rules for tween television in the 2000s. So in this video, we're going to dive into the top 12 longest running live action teen sitcoms, the ones that stuck around, outlasted their peers, and maybe even overstayed their welcome. Ooh, spoiler alert. These are the shows that went the distance, even if you forgot how far they actually went. So let's jump back into the past.
Don't tell me why, secrets and lies, so these kids, they will never lie. 'Cause life is simply one.
What's up, everybody? It's Johnny2000, focusing on 2000s media, movies, music, and so much more. So at the lowest we have is True Jackson VP. So everything here on out is some of the longest episodes of all time. I'm surprised Ned's Declassified didn't make this list with 55 episodes total, but we're starting with True Jackson VP. I had no idea that lasted just as long, because it definitely doesn't have a successful following or feel like it went on as long as it did, but it did. It went on as long as Ned's, and even had more episodes than it. This series about Keke Palmer making history as one of the youngest black female leads on TV, True Jackson VP, is just hilarious, with this teenage girl becoming a vice president of a youth apparel major clothing place. Like, it's insane. Mixing workplace comedy and high school antics, the show gave viewers empowering messages that age does not limit ability, which really means a lot. 56 episodes is nothing to shake your head about, but as we go through more episodes, you'll see that tween shows really extended themselves when they tried to make a lot of episodes. None of the following shows actually even breaking less than 60 episodes. So let's jump into the next one. We have Zoe 101. That lasted for 61 episodes over the course of 4 seasons, which is crazy. I feel like it falls into that category with Drake and Josh, where it's like, oh, I can't believe they had so many seasons and so little episodes, especially considering as we go through this list and get higher on it, there's even more episodes but less seasons. It's kind of impressive that they fit this into 3 years. Like 2005 to 2008 is a very quick time to get 61 episodes pumped out, but I guess Teen Nick was willing to do it. It's just so off-putting. It's got weird cinematic visuals with a sitcom-like structure. I did a longer retrospective on this if you want to check it out on my channel, but it's just a wacky show, and 61 episodes is 60 episodes too long for this show, and I will tell you that very clearly. But it's still a surprise that it lasted longer than Victorious, longer than Drake and Josh. Like, I can't believe this show is higher up in its history books at 61 episodes. Zeke and Luther was definitely the longest running Disney XD show, with most of them not even making it to 4 seasons. It went on from 2009 to 2012, and it was that skateboard show about that teen duo. And I remember back when it came out, always checking the episode guides, surprised that it was still running. Like, Disney XD shows are not meant to last that long. Usually it's 1 or 2 seasons at the most. I mean, if you're kicking it or bonked, obviously, like, you're breaking records, but I feel like Zeke and Luther is one of those silent heroes at 73 episodes. It definitely overlasted its welcome. Like, I feel like you can't really get that many episodes out of 2 skateboarders, but they did it in a really fun way, and I feel like every episode in that series is actually really good. It doesn't have a lot of duds or bad episodes, so it actually earned its place. So Big Time Rush had 74 episodes over the course of 4 seasons. Now this show took its time in a good way. It let itself breathe a little bit. Like, we had shorter seasons, unlike the Disney Channel shows where they were trying to fit 30 episodes in a season. It went on from 2009 to 2013 on Teen Nick, and it was about that boy band craze, but being part sitcom in a way that Jonas did not make happen. Big Time Rush is a successful show with amazing music and even going on tour till this date. I don't know how in the world they made this show go on for as long as it did. I feel like most people think it was one of those short failures because it definitely happened when we aged out of tween television in around 2011, 2013. And it did a really good job at combining musical elements with wacky sitcom scenarios. With the 4 Minnesota hockey players getting plucked from Minnesota to live in LA, and even adding a movie to its deck. Now this is crazy because the next couple shows have not only gone above 74 episodes, but they've gone above 87. Yeah, the last 8 TV shows all had 87 episodes and up. So let's see what made the final round of most episodes of all time. So then we have The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. So this one went on slightly shorter than you would expect, but slightly longer than I would, based on all this history. Because The Sweet Life only went on for 3 years. Unlike the 4-season shows that are about to come up, Sweet Life really made 87 episodes work out of a 3-season show. Can you imagine? I mean, it's unrealistic. 39 episode second season is definitely the culprit for that, but just the fact they knew this show was so promising that they tried to order as much episodes as quickly as possible. And we know the Sweet Life on Deck story of how they couldn't get a 4th season, so they just switched to a new TV show and got to pay people the same. I mean, it was just such a messed up time in terms of some of the more business aspects of these, but in terms of creativity, like, Sweet Life definitely hit home. It definitely had relatable characters and a really excitingly fantasized version of what it would be like to live in a hotel. Surprised that it's so much higher than Drake and Josh by a long run with less seasons is astounding to me. But I do feel like when looking back, I do picture more episodes of Sweet Life than I ever did of Drake and Josh. But I'm not sure if that's credit to Sweet Life on Deck or what. There's a reason I didn't combine the Sweet Life on Deck and the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, just because I feel like, of course, as a duo, they would sweep out the rest of the competition, but they are 2 separate shows with separate writers, separate casts even. So I'm not trying to give credit to everybody, when really it was only the Sprouse twins that went through 6 seasons back to back. Tied with them is Austin and Ally, a show that I really didn't like. It went on from 2011 to 2016. Crazy. It went on for 5 years, but the exact same amount of episodes of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I definitely don't remember it that way, but it makes a lot of sense. It was that love letter to music and unlikely friendships, Ross Lynch and Laura Marano. But yeah, it had that slow burn romance across 87 episodes. So much more boring than The Sweet Life could have went on to do. But hey, if any shows were to tie for 87 episodes, it's definitely going to be the double name shows like Austin and Ally and Zack and Cody. Then we have Good Luck Charlie. This is also one of the more modern Disney Channel shows, starting in 2010 and ending in 2014. This was one of the ones that went on for 4 seasons. It seemed like Disney was perfecting this model of specifically 4 seasons and just shy of 100 episodes, especially these last few. This show revolved around the Duncans and Teddy's advice to Charlie. It was very relatable and a unique concept, and I remember when I was little, even not being into teen shows anymore, I still thought it was a cool idea. At number 5, we have a surprisingly popular show, iCarly. iCarly had 97 episodes produced between 2007 and 2012. And I have a feeling, based on Dan Schneider's work ethics, that they finished most of their episodes within 2 or 3 years' time, with the other ones spread out. So they could have done so much more, but because of the irresponsible pacing for the actors, it almost was too much to do in general. Which you'll never hear me say about a TV show, like they did too many episodes, but I do feel like it overstayed its welcome a little bit more than a show like Hannah Montana, which has a similar episode count. We'll get into it in a minute. Of course, this is a cultural icon, like iCarly being about the internet and how Carly, Sam, and Freddie navigate this landscape. It's bizarre with pretty savvy storytelling. Miranda Cosgrove is leading her own show as a teen who runs a web show from her apartment with her best friends. It definitely captured the nostalgia of the YouTube generation before it was pretty cool. Definitely one of the best and most iconic teen shows to date. And thank God that they got so much further than Drake and Josh was able to go. For number 4, we have Jessie. I never really got to know this show super well. I know that it went on for about 4 seasons, I believe, from 2011 to 2015 on Disney Channel. And it was kind of like their take on The Nanny with Debbie Ryan as the lead after the success of Sweet Life on Deck. I really did turn away from this one. I don't know, it was cool though because Jesse broke the diversity ground with the multi-ethnic cast and managed to deliver heartfelt life lesson. It became a top tier show alongside that show Bunked, which is ridiculous. I'm actually not going to get into that because there are over 120 episodes of that show, but its production history is insane and worth getting into, so we're not going to do that here today. Jessie was definitely one of the more modern, long-lasting Disney Channel shows, with 98 episodes. Surprise, surprise, it beat iCarly. I did not see that coming, especially because it made more of an impact on our community and culture. Like, I don't remember this being a longer show, but it definitely makes sense to come from the nostalgic lens of I definitely was watching iCarly and not watching Jessie. But it worked out for some people, so congrats. Like, 98 episodes is nothing to shake your head at. Like, that is such a big accomplishment for a tween show. At number 3, we have Hannah Montana. Oh my gosh, I thought it would be higher on this list. It ran for the same amount of years as Wizards of Waverly Place, but somehow completed 2 less episodes, maybe because they were focused on quality control. That's not a stab at anybody, that's just me being me. So it went on from 2006 to 2011, and it didn't just entertain, it defined a generation, starring Miley Cyrus as that teen with the secret pop star superstardom, and cultivating in many successful videos by yours truly. This happened over the course of 4 seasons. That rebrand in the last season, thank God it wasn't as intense as the Sweet Life on Deck, but it wasn't staying the same Raven did throughout its run. It definitely made its place in the top 3 of the most episodes in teen television. At number 2, we have That's So Raven. See, I expected this to be number 1, but I was surprised to find out that they only had 100 episodes. They broke the 100 episode rule, so they officially could be on hiatus after this show. I don't know why teen shows didn't work differently. Like, of course they couldn't produce 100 episodes. Like, why are they going by the standards of adult sitcoms? Especially how hard it is to create something they do. It's almost like a different medium entirely. It helped set the tone for modern Disney sitcoms and spawned a successful reboot that was like the first to actually work, Raven's Home, cementing its legacy with the 100 episodes that started it all. Yeah, so it turns out Wizards of Waverly Place is actually the show with the most episodes, the highest episode count at 106 episodes, running for 5 years, 2007 to 2012. It put a magical spell on the traditional scene sitcom, launching Selena Gomez into stardom. It really broke new ground by blending fantasy and teen humor while becoming one of Disney's first shows to reach 100 episodes, ultimately winning an Emmy and changing the network's programming expectations. I always thought this was going to be like Hannah Montana or Sweet Life, but those have so much less episodes than I guess I ever imagined. I am also surprised it beat That's So Raven, but with both shows being at 4 seasons, it's not that surprising. I feel like they got used to ordering more episodes in bigger chunks to make the most out of the kids' ages before they got too old to do a Disney Channel show. And That's So Raven just happened to have done less batches back then. I don't know why they went so crazy given the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody 39 episodes in its 2nd season. While Wizards of Waverly Place does kind of teeter on that almost by having 30 episodes in its 2nd, 3rd, and I think even 4th season. They didn't do the Hannah Montana thing where they switched up the entire set and refreshed the show in season 4, which is pretty welcome. It's kind of cool that they didn't need to do that, especially having the most episodes. I felt like my impression was always that Hannah Montana would have the most, maybe because I'm biased toward that show, but looking back, it's crazy to think that they don't. And especially with how little changes Wizards went through over the course of its run, it feels like there should have been more there. I don't know. I know they did come back with that Alex versus Alex teen movie, but obviously since it wasn't as good as the Wizards of Waverly Place film, I don't love to count it, but it was an additional episode. Oof. Did any of these shows have more or less than you were expecting? I feel like our expectations are so different, especially if we don't look into this stuff growing up, but I find it fascinating to actually go through technical things like codes and even episode numbers to kind of identify which shows lasted the longest. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a nerd. I'm having a good time, okay? And if you like any of the music played earlier, that's my musical, Heartbreak Hospital, if you guys want to check it out. Links in the description. And if you have any other video suggestions, please don't forget to fill up the comment box. I am always down to check out different shows. Until next time, everybody, this is Johnny 2000 focusing on music, TV, movies, and so much more. See you guys soon.